Every little comment, every small setback, if it all gets under your skin, you're giving away your power. The truth is simple. The most unshakable people don't have fewer problems. They've just mastered how they react. Imagine walking through life unfazed. No overthinking, no emotional outbursts, just complete control. In this video, I'll teach you how to train your mind to act as if nothing bothers you, so you stop feeling trapped by your emotions and start owning them instead. Because once you master this, nothing and no one will ever control you again. 1. Mastering the "nothing bothers me" mindset. Life is filled with noise, opinions, frustrations, unexpected setbacks. The world is relentless in its ability to throw distractions, criticism, and roadblocks in your path. But what if I told you that true strength comes from mastering the art of calm indifference? Imagine walking through a storm without flinching, without losing your composure. This is what it means to act as if nothing bothers you. The key: detach your emotions from external circumstances. When you let outside events dictate your mood, you become a puppet to forces beyond your control. But when you train your mind to stay unmoved, you become the master of your own destiny. The world respects those who stay calm in chaos, who don't crumble under pressure. When you embody this mindset, you command authority without even speaking. You move through life with presence, with power, with unshakable confidence. Think of the most influential individuals in history. They weren't the ones who reacted impulsively to every slight or criticism. They moved with quiet control, as if they knew something the rest of the world didn't. Their power wasn't in arguing or fighting back. It was in remaining unaffected. This is the true strength of indifference. Self-mastery teaches one core truth. Thought precedes action, and what you think, you become. If you react emotionally to everything, you hand over your power. But if you stay centered, the world begins to bend around your composure. Those who achieve great things understand this principle. Control the mind, and you control your reality. Picture this: someone insults you in public. Most people lash out. But you simply smile and walk away. In that moment, you rob the instigator of their power. They expected a reaction. They needed it. And when they don't get it, they're the ones left unsettled, not you. You walk away untouched, unmoved, unbothered. This is silent dominance, the kind admired by all but mastered by few. The same applies to failure. Most people drown in frustration when things go wrong. They lose days, weeks, even years replaying the setback in their mind. But those with true inner control treat failure as data, a lesson, an adjustment, a step forward. They don't internalize it. They observe, learn, and move. So, how do you cultivate this level of control? Start with this: pause before reacting. Ask yourself, does this matter to my long-term goals? Is this reaction necessary, or am I giving away my power? Each time you choose stillness over impulse, you build mental armor. Another key is visualization. Picture yourself as someone who moves through life untouched, someone who doesn't flinch at insults, doesn't crumble under pressure, doesn't chase approval. The mind becomes what it repeatedly sees. Let people wonder why you're not rattled. Let them question your composure. Because the moment nothing bothers you, you control the game. You become an enigma, someone respected, yet impossible to read. And in that mystery lies your power. True power isn't loud. It isn't aggressive. It's presence, a calm so strong it needs no explanation. Master this, and you master life. 2. How to stay unshaken. Think about the strongest people you know. They don't react impulsively. They don't let emotions dictate their behavior. They pause, they assess, they respond with intention, not because they lack emotions, but because they've mastered them. Emotional detachment isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about controlling them. Picture this. You're in a heated argument. Someone tries to provoke you. Do you react? Do you let their words shape your emotions? Or do you stay centered, knowing their words mean nothing unless you give them meaning? Emotional detachment means refusing to hand your peace to external forces. It's understanding that your inner world is sacred and untouchable. Once you adopt this, stress decreases, clarity increases, and challenges become puzzles, not threats. What you focus on, you attract. If you let the world dictate your emotions, you become a slave to circumstances. But when you control your inner state, you become the architect of your fate. Think of the man who lost everything, business gone, investments wiped out. Most would spiral into despair, but not him. He saw failure as instruction, not destruction. He knew his mind was his greatest asset, something no loss could take. With that mindset, he rebuilt everything stronger than before. This is the power of detachment. When you stop identifying with setbacks, you give yourself permission to rise above them. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack emotional stability. They start with ambition, but give up the moment challenges appear. But those who master detachment understand something most people don't. Emotions are just temporary sensations. They don't let a moment of discomfort derail a long-term vision. They persist because they've trained their minds to see obstacles as stepping stones, not roadblocks. Training yourself to be emotionally detached does not mean becoming cold or numb. It means you no longer allow external forces to dictate your internal state. You can feel joy, sadness, excitement, but you stay in control. Your emotions serve you, not the other way around. To develop this mindset, practice stepping back in emotionally charged situations. The next time someone insults you, pause. Instead of reacting, observe your feelings. Ask yourself, does this affect my life in any meaningful way? Most of the time, the answer is no. And by choosing not to react, you take away their power. Detachment also grows from having a clear purpose. When you know where you're going, petty distractions stop shaking you. Your focus becomes unbreakable because your energy is too valuable to waste on things that don't serve you. The world belongs to those who master themselves. The more emotional control you cultivate, the more unstoppable you become. While others panic, you stay calm. While others react, you respond with intention. And that control gives you an advantage few ever achieve. True strength isn't about loud displays of power. It's about having an unshakable presence, a quiet authority that commands respect without ever needing to demand it. When you master emotional detachment, you don't just navigate life. You begin to control it. 3. Mindful indifference is a superpower. We're conditioned to believe we must care about everything. People's opinions, their judgments, their expectations. Society teaches us that our worth is measured by how deeply we invest in what others think. But true freedom begins when you realize most of it simply doesn't matter. The next time you're overthinking, ask yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If the answer is no, let it go. Most of what troubles us, criticism, minor setbacks, fleeting embarrassments, becomes irrelevant with time. Yet we allow them to consume our thoughts and control our emotions. This is why mastering indifference is essential. Indifference is not apathy, it's prioritization. It's choosing to invest your energy only in what deserves your attention. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every opinion is worth absorbing. Not every situation deserves your emotional involvement. When you stop reacting to every inconvenience, you reclaim your power. You shift from emotional reactivity to strategic response. And that shift changes everything. Think of the people you admire most. They aren't desperate for approval. They aren't controlled by emotion. They stand firm in who they are, unmoved by the noise of the world. Because they cannot be easily influenced, they hold real power. When you adopt this mindset, something interesting happens. People respect you more, not because you seek their approval, but because they sense your self-sufficiency. In a world where most people bend themselves to fit in, the one who stands firm becomes unforgettable. Consider a situation where someone criticizes you unfairly. The weak-minded react immediately, defending, explaining, or attacking. But the strong remain calm. They know words only have power if they allow them to. By not reacting, they keep control, not just over the situation, but over themselves. And that self-control commands more respect than any emotional outburst ever could. The same is true in success. High achievers don't waste energy on trivial concerns. They remain laser-focused on their goals, refusing to be pulled into petty drama or pointless arguments. They understand that every moment spent worrying about what doesn't matter is a moment stolen from growth. So how do you cultivate indifference? Start by evaluating your reactions. The next time frustration or anxiety rises over something small, pause. Ask, is this worth my energy? Most of the time, it isn't. Train yourself to release what doesn't serve you. Another essential practice is setting clear priorities. Define what truly matters: your purpose, your peace of mind, your growth. Once you strengthen your sense of self-worth, outside opinions lose their grip. You become untouchable, not because you don't care about anything, but because you care deeply about the right things. That's the secret most people never discover. True power is not in seeking approval. It is found in being unmoved by rejection, in walking away from what drains you, in rising above petty conflicts, in staying focused in a world built on distraction. In the end, it is not about caring less. It's about caring wisely, choosing where your energy goes, protecting your peace from what does not deserve it. When you master indifference, you don't just survive, you thrive. And in a world obsessed with fitting in, the one who stands firm in their own self-worth always rises above the rest. 4. Stop seeking approval. Seeking approval is a trap. It places your happiness in the hands of others. It makes you dependent on their validation for your self-worth. The truth? No one's opinion of you should outweigh your own. The moment you let someone else define your value, you lose control over your life. True confidence isn't given, it's built. Built through self-reliance. Built by knowing you don't need anyone's permission to be yourself. Think of the most magnetic people you've ever seen. They don't beg for approval. They don't shrink to fit in. They own who they are, flaws and all. And that's what makes them powerful. Their strength lives in their unshakable sense of identity. While others chase validation, they walk their own path with purpose and clarity. The need for approval is rooted in fear, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of standing alone. But here's the truth. The more you seek approval, the more power you surrender. You become a prisoner of expectations, bending and twisting yourself to match standards designed by others. And in doing so, you betray yourself. Freedom comes the moment you release the need to be liked by everyone. It's an illusion to believe universal approval is even possible. No matter what you do, someone will admire you. Someone will criticize you, and most people won't care at all. So why waste your energy trying to please everyone? Think about the people who actually change the world. Leaders, innovators, creators. They weren't concerned with fitting in. They were driven by vision, by purpose, by the fire within them. They faced judgment, mockery, and doubt, yet remained unmoved. Their confidence wasn't built on applause. It was built on self-belief, the only foundation strong enough to make someone unstoppable. If you want to escape the approval trap, start with one question. Whose opinion truly matters? More often than not, the loudest voices come from those who've never walked your path. They don't know your struggles. They don't understand your goals. Their words only carry weight if you allow them to. Another essential step is learning to validate yourself. Recognize your own progress. Celebrate your wins. Big or small. When you acknowledge your worth internally, external approval becomes irrelevant. You no longer need applause to feel valuable. You simply know that you are. Detaching from validation does not make you arrogant or dismissive. It makes you grounded, firm in your identity, confident in your decisions, and unmoved by the shifting opinions of others. It means understanding your value is not up for negotiation. The moment you stop seeking validation, you start living freely. You no longer filter your actions through the expectations of others. You move with authenticity, boldness, and purpose. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. And that is perfectly okay. The people who truly matter will respect you, not because you chase their approval, but because you don't need it. Choose yourself. Stand firm in your values, your beliefs, your vision. Let go of the need for external validation and embrace the strength of self-acceptance. Because once you do, you become untouchable. Not because everyone approves of you, but because you no longer require their approval. 5. Handle criticism. Like a master, criticism is inevitable, but how you handle it determines your strength. Most people crumble the moment they face disapproval. They take every comment to heart, letting it shape their identity and weaken their resolve. But why? Criticism is nothing more than words, opinions from people who often don't understand your path. The truth is simple. Criticism only has the power you give it. When you react emotionally, you lose control. When you filter it through logic, you stay in control. The strongest individuals don't let criticism shake them. They assess it calmly. They take what's useful and discard the rest. No overreaction, no unnecessary drama, just selective attention to what matters. The key is this. Filter criticism through logic, not emotion. Keep what helps you grow. Ignore what doesn't. Never let someone's opinion disrupt your peace. There are 2 forms of criticism. 1. Constructive criticism. This is valuable. It comes from those who have experience and genuinely want to see you improve. This kind of feedback sharpens you. Welcome it. 2. Destructive criticism. This is meant to break you down. It often stems from jealousy, insecurity, or ignorance. These opinions are meaningless unless you internalize them. Imagine a sculptor crafting a masterpiece. People stop to watch. Some admire his work. Some give useful suggestions, others mock him. Does the sculptor abandon his vision? No. He filters the noise, stays aligned with his craft, and continues carving. This is how you must approach criticism. When someone criticizes you, ask yourself, does this person have the credibility to judge me? If yes, consider their words. If not, move on. Not all voices deserve your attention. Most criticism comes from people who have never done what you are doing. Their words reflect their limitations, not yours. Criticism is a test of emotional resilience. Weak-minded individuals react impulsively. They get defensive, argue, or withdraw. The strong remain calm. They process the message without letting it disturb their inner world. When you respond to criticism with calm indifference, you send a message. Your confidence is unshakable. Think of history's great minds. Visionaries, creators, innovators, all of them faced relentless criticism. Their ideas were doubted, their choices questioned. But they kept going, unmoved by the noise. They understood one thing: criticism is often the price of progress. To develop this mindset, practice detachment. The next time someone criticizes you, pause, don't react. Analyze. Is there truth here? If yes, learn from it. If not, release it. Another powerful tool is self-conviction. When you deeply believe in your path, external opinions lose their grip. Confidence comes from within, not from approval or disapproval. Once you realize this, you become immune to shallow criticism. The world will always have something to say. Some will praise you, some will doubt you. But the only opinion that truly matters is your own. True power is the ability to hear criticism, evaluate it rationally, and move forward without losing focus. Learn from it if needed, but never let it define you. The strongest people don't fear criticism. They either use it or they ignore it. 6. Keep your composure under pressure. Pressure exposes people. Some break, some fold. But the strong? They remain unshaken. Why? Because they prepare their minds before the storm arrives. They understand that pressure isn't an exception, it's a certainty. And when you expect challenges, they no longer surprise you. The secret is detaching from the need to control everything. Not everything will go according to plan. People will disappoint you. Obstacles will appear. Unexpected setbacks will arise. But you do not react emotionally. You respond with intention, with calm calculation. Most people crack under pressure because they resist reality. They expect life to be smooth, predictable, manageable. And when things go wrong, they panic, they complain, they freeze. But those who embrace uncertainty adapt. They move with the chaos, not against it. Think of a seasoned warrior. He does not enter battle expecting ease. He anticipates resistance, ambushes, obstacles, surprises. Yet he remains composed. Because he has already accepted the reality of conflict, he does not waste energy wishing for ease. Instead, he focuses entirely on execution. You must adopt the same mindset. The world will test you. It will throw stress, failure, doubt, and unexpected chaos your way. But if you've trained yourself to stay composed under pressure, nothing will shake you. While others scramble in panic, you will move with precision. You won't react, you will respond. There is a difference, and that difference is power. True strength isn't about controlling external events. It's about mastering control over yourself. When you no longer need things to go perfectly, you become unstoppable. When you understand that pressure is inevitable, you stop fearing it. You stop resisting it. You start seeing it for what it truly is. An opportunity to sharpen your composure. Think of the greatest leaders, the most unshakable individuals. They don't flinch in chaos. They don't crumble when things go wrong. Instead, they radiate calmness, certainty, and inner control. People look at them and wonder, how does nothing faze them? How do they stay so composed while everyone else falls apart? It's simple. They trained their minds long before the storm arrived. They accepted difficulty as a constant. They rehearsed their reactions before the test even appeared. They know that emotions cloud judgment. So they don't hand their power to panic. They prioritize logic, clarity, and focus. To build this level of control, shift your perspective on pressure. See it as a game, a direct test of your discipline. When stress hits, challenge yourself to remain composed. Observe your emotions. Don't let them dictate your actions. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Another essential step: preparation. The strongest individuals don't wait for pressure to arrive. They train for it. They mentally rehearse worst-case scenarios. They condition their minds to stay steady under stress. And when the moment comes, nothing catches them off guard. Most people rely on hope. The strong rely on discipline. Most people expect things to go smoothly and collapse when they don't. The strong expect adversity and move through it untouched. So the next time pressure rises, remind yourself, this is my test, my moment to prove control. While others panic, you will breathe. While others react, you will calculate. And when the storm passes, you will still be standing, untouched, unshaken, unbreakable. But the most powerful individuals, they don't speak unnecessarily. They listen, they observe, they calculate. And when they finally speak, every word carries weight. Silence makes people uncomfortable. It forces them to second-guess themselves, to analyze your thoughts, to wonder what's happening behind your calm expression. In any conversation, the one who speaks less holds more control. Words reveal, silence conceals. When you master the art of silence, you shift the power dynamics in your favor. You gain control over conversations, situations, and, most importantly, how people perceive you. Most people can't handle silence. They rush to fill the space with explanations, justifications, nervous chatter. But when you remain still, you force others to reveal themselves. The more they talk, the more they expose their insecurities, intentions, and hidden motives. Meanwhile, you remain a mystery. And in mystery, there is power. Imagine a negotiation. Someone presents an offer and expects a quick response. But instead of reacting, you pause. You let silence stretch. With every passing second, they grow more unsettled. They second-guess their own offer. They fill the silence with better terms, concessions, compromises. Why? Because silence creates tension, and tension creates leverage. The same applies in everyday interactions. If someone insults you, stay silent. Most people expect anger, defense, retaliation, but when you give them nothing, their power collapses. They wonder if their words landed. They question themselves. They feel foolish. The ability to control your speech when emotions spike is the ultimate display of discipline. And discipline commands respect. Powerful people are not reactive. They don't let emotions dictate their words. They know silence can be its own response. A pause can shift an entire interaction. So the next time someone expects you to react, don't. Stay silent. Let them wonder. Let them reveal themselves. Watch how the power shifts effortlessly in your favor. In a world desperate to be heard, the one who speaks the least often holds the most influence. Master silence, and you master control.